you ever felt like your whole life is stuck in one heavy day? Like everything that matters is happening in a gray, endless now, and you can't find the edge to step off.
Welcome to The Healing Pen, a podcast about the power of creative writing to help you process stress, reconnect with yourself, and write your way through burnout. I'm Corey Jonke, Amazon best-selling author, leadership coach, pharmacist, and someone who believes that sometimes the words we put on the page can help us heal the parts of ourselves we've been too busy to hear. If you've been carrying too much for too long, if you felt emotionally exhausted, disconnected, overwhelmed, or unsure how to make sense of what you're feeling, you are in the right place. This podcast is a space for reflection, honesty, healing, and hope. Each episode, we'll explore how creative writing can help you slow down, tell the truth, process what hurts, and begin creating a better next chapter. You do not have to be a professional writer. You do not have to have the right words right away. You just have to be willing to begin. So take a breath, grab a pen, and let's start writing our way back to ourselves. This is The Healing Pen.
A few years ago, I remember sitting at my kitchen table with a coffee gone cold, a stack of unfinished to-dos, and a kind of dull panic humming under everything I did. I was exhausted in a way that felt permanent. One morning, I opened a notebook, and instead of trying to write a big paragraph about my life, I wrote 4 tiny scenes. 1 sentence for how the morning started, 1 line for the moment I snapped, 1 small detail about the first tiny relief I felt, and 1 next action I could actually imagine doing. That short sequence changed the shape of the day for me. It didn't fix everything, but it made the day feel like a story with an arc, not a flat plate of fatigue. That small structure is where the 4-frame release began for me.
So let's name what's happening. Burnout often boils down to a flattened present. Every minute feels like the same heavy minute. You lose the rhythm of cause and effect. You can't tell whether anything is improving because everything is compressed into one overwhelming now. That compression kills creativity. It makes decisions feel impossible, and it quietly convinces you that nothing will change. When we can split the day, or the story, into smaller moments, we give ourselves the room to see movement. We create openings.
Here's the core idea. The 4-frame release asks you to write 4 micro scenes that together make a tiny story of your burnout and a path forward. The frames are simple. Before, peak, turning point, next step. Each scene should be small, 90 seconds, 3 minutes, even 30 seconds, focused on 1 sensory detail, 1 action, or 1 sentence. The goal is clarity, not beauty. The goal is to make something you can come back to. Let me walk you through each frame.
Before, this is the scene setting. What did a typical morning look like when things were still rolling along, before the heaviness dominated? Don't try to narrate your whole job or family life. Instead, anchor on 1 small image. A commute, the cup of coffee you always forgot to finish, the sound of your keys hitting the countertop. Keep it sensory. Write, before, my phone lit the dim kitchen while the kettle hissed.
Peak. This is the moment things cracked, the point of overwhelm. Again, pick 1 moment. Maybe it's the email that arrived, the missed medication, the slammed door, the blank cursor on a page. Use active present language. Try peak. I stared at the calendar and my chest went tight, like someone pressing down on it. You don't have to explain why. Just record the experience honestly. Turning point. Look for the smallest sign that something might shift. It can be tiny. A short breath, a text from a friend, a window opened, a single sentence you wrote that felt true. The point is to locate evidence that the present isn't eternal. Try turning point. A neighbor's laugh passed by the window, and I noticed my jaw unclench.
A few coaching cues as you write. Favor present tense to keep scenes immediate. Choose a single sensory detail.
sound, touch, smell, or a physical habit to anchor each frame. Make sentences short and concrete, and refuse the inner critic's suggestion that you must be clever. Clarity beats clever every time.
Now let's practice. I'll lead you through a time-boxed version of the 4-frame release. You can use whatever timing feels safe. 5 minutes per frame if you want beep space, 3 minutes per frame for a focused move, or a 30-second flash version if you're pressured. I'll give short prompts and a pause so you can write. If you're driving or in a place where you can't write, you can speak the lines out loud or simply listen and imagine. Ready? Set a timer if you can. We'll do the 90-second per frame version here. Quick, effective, low pressure.
Frame 1. Before. Write one short scene that shows what a typical, less burdened morning looked like. Anchor it in one sensory detail. Begin now. If you're still writing, notice one small image and stop. Perfect. Frame 2. Peak. Now write the single moment when things felt like they cracked. Keep it present tense and concrete. Don't explain. Record the felt experience. Begin now.
Frame 3. Turning point. Look for the tiniest sign of change. It might be internal, a breath, or external, a text. Write that small detail. Begin now.
Frame 4. Next step. Choose one tiny action you can actually do in the next 24 hours. Make it specific and small. Write it now. If the words slow down or the critic shows up, try this. Set a 30-second sprint and tell yourself, only sense, only moment. You can always come back and expand later. The point is to have a story shape you can hold. If 5 minutes feels too long, do the 30-second version, one sentence per frame. If your scenes feel bad or messy, that's good. That's honesty, and honesty is where change starts.
When you're done, tuck the 4 scenes into a single place. A page in a notebook, a note on your phone, a small index card. Read the sequence aloud once. Notice if reading it gives you a different feeling than living it did. Often, seeing the arc, before, peak, turning point, next step, reduces the sense that everything is stuck. It reveals movement, however small.
A gentle reminder before we close. You do not need perfect words. You just need honest ones. Small scenes are not a cure-all, but they are a tool, an anchor when the present feels endless. Revisit these frames after a day or a week. Notice what changed. Allow the next step to evolve into the next tiny next step.
If you'd like a printable 4-frame worksheet to guide your practice, visit CoreyJanke.com and look for the resources page. There's a simple downloadable sheet you can use today. If this episode helped you, please subscribe, share it with someone who needs a small way forward, and leave a review so more people can find this work. If you want a better life, you have to write yourself a better story. Thanks for spending this time with me on the Healing Pen. Before you go, here's your reminder. You do not have to have everything figured out to begin healing. Sometimes clarity comes after the writing, not before it. If today's episode gave you something to think about, something to feel, or something to write about, I hope you'll subscribe, share the show with someone who needs it, and leave a review. That helps more people discover this space and begin their own journey back to themselves. And if you're ready for deeper support, more writing prompts, or tools to help you move from burnout to breakthrough, visit CoreyJanke.com to learn more. Until next time, take a breath, pick up the pen, and trust that even a few honest words can begin to change the story. I'll see you next time on The Healing Pen.